What's up, guys? It's Addy here, back with another video, and I am so excited to make this video because, it's big news all around the NBA, and I hope everyone's having a great week. And what better way to start off the week than hearing the news of Dwyane Wade reaching a buyout agreement with the Chicago Bulls, and just not to be full of myself, but I actually called this like a month ago, and I made a video about it. Go check that out. But in that video, I talk about him signing with the Cavs, and I feel like a lot of stuff has transpired through that time to now, where I feel like there's a huge chance that this is a huge possibility. And I picked the Celtics and OKC to play, in the background while I talk about this because, I actually feel like this is a very qualified matchup for the NBA Finals. I feel like the Cavs have been taken over by the Celtics in the East based on all the trades they made, the signings. I just think the Celtics got much better this year than they were last year, and same with OKC. Clearly, they got Paul George off a questionable trade that I think they ripped off Indiana for. Then they go ahead and rip off the Knicks again, in my opinion, with getting Carmelo. So they have a solid big three, but why would Dwyane Wade sign with OKC? It's because of this super team era. And I understand the complete argument of Dwyane Wade signing with the Cavs. I believed it so much I made a video on it, but I feel like things have changed now, and it makes more sense for Wade to go here because his role will be more important in OKC, and he has some to prove of himself, but it's towards the end of his career as well, and it's at a time where guys usually make the decision to join with a team where they can do a certain amount of help to the squad, give them their all. But like Ray Allen did with Miami, it wasn't expected of him to do that, but at the time that was the best he could give to any team. If he signed with the Celtics, he wasn't going to be 10 times better than he was on Miami. So he understood his role pretty clearly from the get-go. So he decided to go and sign with Miami, win some championships, and this is where I think OKC is a great destination for Dwyane Wade. And if you all don't know about the news, then you won't know this either, is that OKC is in his top four list that has come out. For some reason, it's always top four teams, even though I feel like there's more than just those four. But the top four are the Cavs, the Spurs, Miami, of course, because, everyone wants to go home and that emotional aspect to it. And then OKC, who is, it's pretty clear that when somebody says that he might want to go back to Miami, the reasons for that. And that just doesn't make sense to me because as much as you want to see guys like end their career with like Kobe did, or how Paul Pierce ended it with the Celtics, guys who gave everything they had to this one team, and then they slowly got away from it, like Pierce did basically, but come back and kind of give them a little more, and just it's less of a trying to win a championship and more of just the respect he deserves from that franchise, and basically, which he really didn't get. So why would he want to go to Miami is the question, because he was ready to go to Miami until they offered him 10 mil. So, and if you don't know about that, the reason he signed with Chicago was because Miami and Pat Riley were basically treating him like he was nothing. Like Kobe's contract, if you see in his last few years, were ridiculous. Like that contract should not have been offered to a guy who was frequently injured like Kobe was and not going to perform the way Kobe Bryant did in his prime. That contract was a contract solely because of what Kobe Bryant did for the franchise. They realized that he won them 5 championships. That is nothing to joke around about. Dwyane Wade won Miami 3. He deserves more than 10 million. This is a form of respect that the teams give to their players when they have devoted so much of their career. He'd played all his career in Miami, and then they disrespect him like this. I fully supported him going to Chicago because it was a change in his career. He teamed up with Jimmy Butler, Rondo, and even though that didn't work and he was pretty injured for most of the time, at least he got to teach Miami a lesson, is that you don't treat your own players like that. He gave so much to Miami. He deserves this. And he was the only guy left from the Big Three era, from the Shaq era. He was their guy. He's a legend in Miami. So as much as I want Miami fans to be happy, and I feel kind of bad for them after they lost basically everything and they have nothing at this point. It's still, it's kind of their franchise's fault. It's not his job to have to repay a franchise for nothing. He doesn't need those condolence thank yous from a franchise that didn't give him the money and the respect he deserved like a year ago. It's only been 1 year, so why should he go there? And his role there wouldn't make sense in the first place because as much as going home matters and it makes a player, feel good and emotional, and it's like, I played here so many years, and it's like how you end off your career. He's only like, he's like 35-ish, 36, and I didn't look it up, but that's not that old. And Dwyane Wade's still putting up great numbers, so why should he have to sacrifice the rest of his years? He still has time. He can come here when he's 40. He can come to Miami when he's like 39 and just play some tribute games. I don't care about that, but this is the time where he can bring a veteran presence to OKC, and the reason that the Cavs are such a front runner is solely because of LeBron. I don't really see a big reason why he should want to go there. Because the Cavs are pretty guard heavy right now. They have guys like Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert. I just don't see the fit there. And as much as they think it'll be helpful, I don't even think Dwyane Wade's chemistry with LeBron will make a big impact in this sense, because they have so many guards who are already facing the comeback reality of it. And why add another guard in there? It just seems like a messy business to get into for Dwyane Wade. And I'm actually one of those people who wants to see LeBron and Dwyane Wade team up again, but the reality is that it won't be the same. It's not going to be like Miami, where I'm sure you've all seen that alley-oop where Dwyane Wade's not even looking. Half the time Dwyane Wade and him were just like, they were clicking. They were insane. They just didn't need any chemistry. Like, it was just 100% chemistry all the time. They didn't even have to look and pass to each other. And Dwyane Wade took a lot of sacrifices at that time. He was in his prime, but he let LeBron, who was also in his prime, take over. He gave up his team to realize that, he wants to win championships. And I respect Dwyane Wade a lot for that, because he took that second role, which is hard to take. Just look at Kyrie. He was there for 3 years and he couldn't take that Dwyane Wade role. And Dwyane Wade not once complained about being that second guy. And that's that Scottie Pippen mentality. It's not about leading. It's not about being the main guy on the team. It's about winning championships. It's about winning games and teamwork. And that I respect a lot for Dwyane Wade and what they did in Miami. But I just don't see it being that similar to their Miami days. So I think you should go for a different change. And Dwyane Wade's never played in the West, and this is something I also think players should experience, is that playing in different conferences, because it's important to look at how both sides work. And since one conference is so much harder than the other, it's clear that one is so much more stacked than the other. It's important to try that side out. And I also think going to OKC makes so much more sense, because he's won a championship, which is something that none of the big three have done. So it's important to have that kind of experience with you. And Dwyane Wade's played a lot of big games. He's not going to be in the role of being the top scorer. He's going to be fourth option if he goes to OKC right now. That's clear. But if he goes to Cleveland, I don't see him being number 2 option anyway. That should be Isaiah Thomas or Kevin Love. He's not at that point of his career to be number 2 on a team. He's at that point to steer other guys, to tell Westbrook, what to do in big moments, and kind of be a different type of leader, be the veteran presence that every team needs. You need a veteran presence where they've played in a championship or they have some sort of drive. And I understand that the big three right now in OKC, although they've never played together, they have a different sort of drive that I'm sure we're going to see next year, because all three of them are hungry to prove something. Westbrook has, all that stuff with Durant, all that Warriors background, that rivalry. Carmelo has that fact that he's never won a championship, and he's been so undermined in his career, which even though the facts don't show it, he's a fantastic player, and his points line is insane. So he's scored a lot of points in his life, but has he done it in the big moments is a very questionable argument. So, that's a very valid argument, but if Dwyane Wade comes there, it not only do they have the drive, but they have the experience added to it. And again, Paul George, who is also part of the big three, he's got stuff to prove as well. He was Indiana for so long. He was a Pacer all his career, and then now he has the opportunity to kind of restart. But he's come out with a statement just today saying that the changes that OKC has made while he's there, or as soon as he joined, they are noteworthy changes, and he could see being with. He could see himself being with OKC for the long run, and that is something that I respect out of him. And I feel like everyone who kept saying he's going to go to the Lakers it's very early to guess that statement because they haven't even tried this out yet. What if they automatically just win a championship right now without Dwyane Wade, because they have three fantastic players and you're being led by the best point guard in the league, and the MVP of last year. That's nothing to go over. And your third scoring option is Carmelo Anthony, who's an insane scorer. Carmelo's only job on this team is to score. He doesn't have to be the main guy. He doesn't have to be ball handler. He doesn't have to be anything. He just has to go out there, play Carmelo basketball, and score. And that is something pretty scary to see. But the only reason Dwyane Wade is so beneficial in this case to OKC and to Dwyane Wade is that you're joining a team that is on the ridge of becoming a super team, which is very clear because they have three all-star guys and it's just missing one. So it's on Dwyane Wade on whether he wants to be does he want to join the super team mentality, or does he want to go and join Cleveland? And as a Celtics fan, I want him to join OKC because along being a Celtics fan, I'm a strong Warriors hater, which means I want OKC to be better than the Warriors, and I really want Russell to prove Durant wrong. I want Oklahoma to prove Durant wrong because of the statements he came out with, and Enes Kanter got traded, and he's still so loyal to his team, and he wants them to be better than the Warriors, and I fully support that, and I want Oklahoma to go out there and just kick some butt because Westbrook deserves it. This town deserves it because the city deserves it because it's just it's ridiculous what Durant said on Twitter and what he's been saying about Oklahoma is, it's a great franchise and their crowd is insane. So those statements are kind of out of line for me, and obviously I don't want him to go to the Cavs because I don't want the Cavs to be stronger, which I do believe will obviously make them stronger, because if you have a guy with such veteran presence joining a team, and I will be honest, the Cavs and the Celtics will have chemistry problems. That's no doubt. The Cavs had a way of playing with Irving in there. The Celtics had a way of playing with Isaiah in there, and I think the transition will be tougher for the Cavs than it will be for the Celtics, because the Celtics have a way of making Isaiah playing off ball, and he's very used to that, but the Cavs had Kyrie playing ISO a lot, so now they have to kind of transition into a guy who does play, he plays off ball a lot, and I'm not saying that Isaiah can't take up that role of playing, ISO. He's a great ISO player, and he does play ISO a lot. I'm sure about 50%, maybe like 40-30% of his game is ISO, and he can play great ISO. It's just his height problems, and obviously he doesn't have as well handles as Kyrie does, and Kyrie's just better at has better agility, and he's just more faster than Isaiah is in terms of moving his body and getting through people, and obviously one of the better finishers in the league. So it's obviously going to be better for the Cavs to sign Dwyane Wade, because with all those chemistry issues going on around them, if they can get a win, they'll definitely take it, because signing Dwyane Wade will be very helpful to keeping LeBron around, obviously, and to also bring the team a little bit more together and not be as lost as they will next year, because of course they'll have to find a way to bring Dwyane Wade into their lineup, but at least they won't have a problem of getting a guy situated with how LeBron plays, because Dwyane Wade gave it up in his prime. So now that he's out of it, now that he's a veteran, he'll definitely know what to do, and he can help steer the guys who play under LeBron. Like, if for instance, let's say Dwyane Wade was on the team last year, I'm sure that this Kyrie issue wouldn't have come up because Dwyane Wade could have, gone to Kyrie and explained to him, why this is, and because basically what happened to Kyrie is like a little earlier version of what happened to Dwyane Wade in his career. Only thing was, as soon as LeBron left Miami, Dwyane Wade was not in his prime anymore. He was basically entering veteran age, even though he kind of was a veteran when LeBron was there. So Kyrie realized it earlier, but Dwyane Wade had a different type of patience that can only be explained by him, and I don't know how other way to explain it myself, because it's something you got to experience it on your own, and he knows what he went through at that time, so he clearly knows what he could have told Kyrie and how to keep the team together. So all these things go into helping the Cavs as well, which is something I don't want to happen, but in my opinion, you asked me a month ago, I would have said that he would sign with the Cavs, no doubt, because I see that as a great possibility. It makes a lot of sense to me because LeBron and him just have a different type of chemistry, and they always have had that kind of chemistry. It was like from the get-go they played amazing, but now I look at it, I don't see it sensical for the Cavs, because the trade has gone through. It's different terms now, and the Cavs, of course, would want this. It makes sense for them to want a win, but Dwyane Wade, I see him more making a bigger impact on this Oklahoma team because they have a lot of talent, but they don't have a lot of experience. And experience really kills you when you're deep in the playoffs and you're playing big minutes. You want a guy who's played big minutes instead of a guy who hasn't played big minutes, because there are teams that have great talent in the NBA, but they don't have experience, and that experience really kills them. One big thing about this trade is that the Celtics gained a lot of experience from Kyrie because Kyrie is so young, but he's won a championship. He's been at the big moments. He's been at one of the biggest moments that anybody could ever reach in their life, which was hitting that three-pointer over Steph Curry. And that's why he's such a important, crucial player for the Celtics right now, and that's why OKC needs a player like that, because Westbrook might have played in the finals, but he doesn't know what it's like to win a finals. He doesn't know what it's like to play 7 games with a San Antonio team or losing 6 games to a Dallas team. How do you handle that? How do you keep the team together in big moments? That's something Dwyane Wade knows, because no matter how much it's said that LeBron was the leader of that team, I'm sure that Dwyane Wade had a big part of steering that team together and keeping them as one whole team the whole time, because I'm sure LeBron was not the only leader of that team, because indirectly Dwyane Wade was already there. He knew how Eric Spoelstra ran his crew, so he was a big part of winning the championships back when in the Big Three Miami era. So yeah, guys, this is just my opinion on what I think will happen / should happen. But I could very easily see it going to the Cavs as well. But in my opinion, this is very beneficial for both Dwyane Wade, for OKC, and it doesn't really hurt anybody else except for the Warriors and a little bit the Rockets. It doesn't hurt anybody on the East. It's not going to hurt the Cavs if he doesn't come there, or the Celtics, but maybe he'll surprise us with a newer team or a different team off the Kyrie. So it's very unpredictable right now, but I'm super excited to see what happens. And since we're in that NBA time where it's kind of dead right now, nothing's really happening, even though Carmelo got traded like 2 days ago, it's good to know that something else is out here, and I just wanted to bring you guys this video. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff, and help us get to 2K by the end of the year. We're at 1.75K, I think, right now, and we're trying to get to 2K. So if you're new, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and yeah, have a great day, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.